Okay, this will be an interesting one. This is probably more my type of thing, even though I'm still not going in it. Let's see how we go. Gonna leave it at 100 for some reason. Gonna add a background colour, but it's gonna be more for the areas that are black, the area outside of the original. We need a bit of blue in this composition. You'll find out when I get to it. Okay, let's see what this original is. It is Sydney Fringe Festival Guide. Well, yeah, this is more my style because photocopier art, like what I do, is considered a fringe art. It's not a mainstream art as I'd like my work to be in, but fringe is good because you get more interesting characters. We're doing this side of it, but yeah, you get more interesting things. I'm more likely to find people working with photocopiers in this kind of creative arrangement rather than the mainstream art. So, but even here I don't think I'd still get invited, to be quite honest. I don't know why my work is underrated. I know I missed a few opportunities back in the early 90s, but I didn't think it was that bad. But anyway, that looks interesting. Oh, yeah, there's actually a bit of blue in the white, so some of the blue did come out. So that looks interesting. Now that looks really cool, and there's you got the bit of the black. So now I'm just seeing, yeah, the toner looks like it's fixed nicely. So now I'm just going to hand this over to, I'm going to put this in this is going into a waiting room of a doctor or doctors. So I'd rather give people interesting things like this instead of tabloids, you know, tabloid magazines or otherwise known as gossip magazines that deal with all kinds of celebrity bullshit and other shit like that. A bit like daytime TV on paper. I don't like daytime TV, never liked it. But basically, yeah, it's like, that's what it is. That's what tabloids are like. They deal with that sort of stuff. I'm just not interested. Now we're just going to set this up in the middle. I nearly forgot something. There is something I forgot. I've got to set this machine to copy paper to get a better result. So we're just going back here. See what else we're going to do. So we'll just go here and see what else we need to set. I think that's pretty much what we have to do. So now we're going to make this into a 4-way mirror image. There goes the squeaky scanner once again. Yeah, so I think fringe art is more interesting. Some of it's shit, but I'm more likely to find something I actually like from fringe art rather than mainstream art. So yeah, that looks really colourful. Now, I'm sort of doubting this is looking good because that's sort of stretched horizontally rather than angled. But this angled bit looks good. And I'm thinking this will become the centre of the piece. So I'm going to just bang off the remaining copies of this. And I hope you fringe people take this as a compliment that I've made a rehash of your front cover. Because this is the kind of art that's more interesting than the fucking Art Gallery of New South Wales or the Museum of Contemporary Art. Oh, yes, there are some good things at the MCA, but basically it's still fairly established sorts of artists, not artists that are sort of up and coming or totally lost in the crowd like I am lost in the crowd. I've never had hardly any kind of kudos for my work. I've had people tell me so many times that I'm talented, but it never got any further than that. I've had the odd person buy some of my work, but basically on the whole, I've lost money doing this. This has been more of a consuming hobby rather than a way of making money. It actually loses money. So I just do it because I love it, because it's the only thing I'm good at. One of the few things I'm good at. Or this is what I excel at the most. And when you're talented at something, you got to use it. You can't just leave it and just let it go. You got to find a place for it. And I'm just trying to find a place where my stuff is going to be truly appreciated. And, you know, because that's all I'm good at. I've got disabilities that prevent me from working in a normal job. So I'm not happy to be disabled, but at least my disabilities don't have much of an effect on what I do making photocopier art. So I don't know why I have to be like everyone else and rely on a daytime job instead of doing this, because I can't work. I work in a sheltered workshop, but that's about it. I can't work in a normal job. I always get told I'm too slow and I make too many mistakes. So shit, I'm over it. I'm fucking over it. So, but the reason why this looks shit, I don't know what the problem is with the paper or the machine. It's just all this fucking curling. But anyway, enough of that. Apart from the curling, I think that looks brilliant. Gotta go.